Commerce has been around for a while, from my standpoint anyway. I've been in the space for over 20 years. And what we need to know is that there are different aspects of commerce and not just media. Media is the driving point of commerce that are merging all of the conversations that we're having today from a retailer perspective, from a buying perspective, and a selling perspective. But from our standpoint, we're also looking at content. We're looking at how to make things shoppable with technology, and then also the store. So if you're driving people to a brick and mortar store, what is that actual user journey? And then is the store equipped to actually talk to that given consumer? So from our standpoint, we want to look at everything holistically, or what we're calling total commerce, from our standpoint, to really focus in on bringing forth the best of commerce for our given clients today.
So what's exciting around shoppable video, and where do you hope that goes, and what are your clients' expectations, and how do you sort of prove the value of that?
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of value in streaming video when it comes to shoppable. One of our core tenets is creating commerce as a strategy, and so leaning into technology that allows us to shop with what we're seeing on TV. So imagine you're watching a TV show and someone was wearing a red dress and you want to purchase that dress. You're able to interact with the actual screen to actually purchase. I think it's interesting because we have seen the uptick in streaming and the consumption from a media perspective with a lot of audiences, and so we know people are in their living room, they know that they have their phone as their second screen, and so why not make everything shoppable, including that actual moment that they're engaging with their television screens, or their iPad, or their mobile phone, however they're streaming to date.
Amie, what about measuring the impact, measuring performance? Where does that stand, and what would you like to be developed around standards, perhaps, or how the issue of measurement can be approached?
Measurement is still the Wild West. There has been a call of standardization across all different retail media platforms when it comes to standardization. I don't know if that necessarily is key. From my standpoint, I'm almost thinking that taxonomies need to be key. So for example, we need to understand the definitions of what we're talking about. So if you're talking to one particular retailer, are you talking about return on ad spend? Are you talking to another retailer, and is that the same definition? So from my standpoint, it's, are we speaking the same language, and are we creating a dictionary for us to understand what measurement is? And then depending on clients, depending on overall key objectives and KPIs, are we delivering and utilizing the right measurements to deem success? So it's not necessarily standardizing all, but it's making sure that we're all speaking the same language.
So Amie, can retailers become publishers? It seems like there's a lot of expectation, and how does that work out for the bigger retailers and smaller ones and local? How does that whole sort of sell side develop?
It's interesting because there are expectations to work with the big guys, but there are some brands that actually have a lot of inventory in, I'll call them mid and long tail stores. So what we're actually looking at are aggregators in the space, or other media companies that can help us tackle, I'll call it tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and really understand the universe of retail. I think there's going to be a precipice, and there's going to be a moment in time where clients are going to just lean into the retailers that have the relationship that they need from a product standpoint, from a distribution standpoint, and it could be a big retailer or it could be a mid or long tail retailer, depending on the category and depending on where that overall client is with that particular brand.